Hey guys, today we will look at the syllabus and past HSC questions. We want to really identify how questions are asked. The idea of the video is not to predict future questions, but rather understand the types of questions that may be asked and how the Board of Studies has implemented the glossary of terms within these questions. We need to first acknowledge that all of the questions you're about to see are the property of the Board of Studies and are only being used for educational purposes. We would hope that teachers can use this video in one of a couple of ways: to showcase the different types of questions that might be asked, and to also provide students with practice questions to receive feedback. If you are a student, feel free to pause the video throughout and utilize the past HSC questions to practice. Don't forget your teachers love receiving all these extra questions to mark. So let's begin with the glossary of terms. So knowing the glossary of key terms is fundamental. It is really a guide for you as a student to help structure your answers, as well as knowing how much depth to go into in each question. You can find a list of glossary of key terms on the Board of Studies website, or even better, you could review your syllabus and look at the Learn To columns to see what glossary of terms are being used. So for this video, we have broken apart the Improving Performance syllabus, dot point by dot point, to show you every question that has been asked in the HSC since 2010. Just a point to remember, there are only 20 marks allocated every year, which generally equates to 3 questions per exam for this option, so it's important to know all areas comprehensively, as questions could come from any area of the syllabus. So let's begin by looking at the first dot point. We're going to look at this as training types, and it has all 5 options listed. Remember, when you are studying this area, you only need to know 2 of these types of training. As you can see, only 1 question has been asked recently in this section. The question itself asks for types, meaning more than 1. So make sure you do your research and prepare for questions that will ask for your knowledge in multiple areas. In the next dot point, initial planning considerations, the 2 questions that have been asked come straight from the Learn To column, almost word for word. Again, we stress the importance of knowing your syllabus. The next dot point has had questions that specifically focus on periodization. 2 different styles of questions have been asked, and both require a lot of thought and planning before answering. So moving on to the dot point, elements to be considered when designing a training session, you can see 2 12-mark questions have recently been used. For this particular dot point, knowledge, detail, and examples are key. I teach my classes to relate this to sports they play, especially if they play at a high level, as they are likely to be doing this in their own training sessions without even realizing. As part of your notes, be sure to adapt the content to a sport of your choice. As you can see from the planning to avoid overtraining dot point, it has been a popular choice for questions. 2 12-mark questions and 1 8-mark question means that you need to know this area quite well. Knowing physiological and psychological considerations isn't enough. You need to be able to analyze overtraining by considering these areas. Identifying someone who is potentially overtraining, what to do in this situation, and how to avoid it. Again, the use of drugs dot point has been popular, as it is a larger dot point that covers a wide variety of content. As you can see, the most recent question has asked for the advantages and disadvantages. However, this is slightly different to the syllabus terminology that has been used, which asks you to learn about the benefits and limitations. Essentially, it's the same. However, in the stress of an exam environment, make sure you read the question, plan, and then answer. And finally, the last dot point relating to technology and sport has seen 2 questions recently. Again, the questions are related to the Learn To column without using the exact terminology. Therefore, your revision needs to be thorough, and you need to put thought, time, and planning into your answer for a question from this area of the syllabus. So that's it for Improving Performance, guys. I hope you have had the chance to have a good look at the questions. Remember to pause it at any stage and utilize this resource to practice answering HSC questions. So the key thing that came out of that is that some of the questions might slightly change a bit, however they are very related to the syllabus. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.